Hi children, how are you all? Hope all are doing so well. Good. Okay. Yes. So we are in our country India, isn't it? Yes. So we learned about our country India. Yes or no? Yes. India, India is a country of ancient buildings, temples, monuments. Monuments means big buildings, structures, statues and all. Actually, these ancient buildings, temples are of huge structure, huge buildings we say. They are of great historical importance we say. These ancient buildings, temples, monuments, they all bring us or make or give a chance to the people to think about the past culture, tradition or the history of our country India, and they are of great tourist attraction also. So these ancient buildings, temples, monuments, they all are our heritage we say. Our heritage means what? Yes, the traditions, cultures that transmits from one generation to another generation. So these huge buildings, temples, monuments, all are our heritage. It gives people a clue about the history of our country, the past of our culture, tradition, etc. So today we will learn about these heritage, also its importance. Okay, so our lesson is our heritage. Our heritage. Lesson number 17, our heritage. Okay, yes, so lesson 17, our heritage. Let's learn about our heritage, architecture and importance. So here children, again our Ratika and Mihika, they are talking something. Let's see what they are talking. Ratika, can you name few World Heritage Sites in India? Yes, Mihika is asking Ratika, do you know some World Heritage Sites in India? These are Ajanta and Ellora Caves, Taj Mahal, Qutub Minar and Red Fort. Yes, so Radhika knows the names of the famous World Heritage Sites. So she is telling about Ajanta and Ellora Caves, Taj Mahal, Qutub Minar and all. So these are our heritage. The huge buildings or ancient buildings or the huge structures, the monuments, temples, etc. So Radhika knows a few of them. So what about you? Yes, our heritage. Heritage includes traditions, monuments, objects and culture. Okay, heritage means it includes traditions, the old traditions, from generation to generation. Our ancestors, what all traditions they had, the culture, monuments, objects, etc. This includes our heritage. There are 32 World Heritage Sites in India that are recognized by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, means UNESCO. UNESCO, UNESCO. The full form of UNESCO is United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. That is the full form of UNESCO. They recognized, they have given approval to all of these sites. Which sites? 32 sites are the World Heritage Sites recognized by the UNESCO on 2014. Out of them, 25 are cultural sites and 7 are natural sites. So there are two types of sites, heritage sites. They are cultural and natural. Cultural sites are there, as well as we have natural sites also. Natural, as the name indicates, it's there in the nature. Okay, it's gift from nature we say. They are natural sites. Cultural sites means man-made things or man-made buildings we say, the things which were found during the phases of human civilization, Yearly the civilization or the human. Oh, yes, children, so there are 32 World Heritage Sites in India recognized by UNESCO. UNESCO means United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. It is an organization which gives approval or which recognize these world sites. Okay, so they have given approval or recognition they have given for 32 World Heritage Sites. Among this, 25 are cultural and 7 are natural. So natural sites are gifts of nature. In the name itself it is the natural sites. So gifts of nature we say. Cultural sites are man-made or man-made things. The things which were found during the different phases of human civilization. So human civilization, the advancement of human society we say. The culture, the tradition, from one generation to another generation, year by year it is getting advanced. So during different phases man has built many things. Okay, so man-made things, it is cultural, they are cultural sites we say. The most attractive cultural world heritage sites. So the most attractive cultural sites, world heritage sites, cultural world heritage sites means which are built by man or man-made things are Ajanta and Ellora caves, which Radhika was saying about that Ajanta and Ellora caves, isn't it? Yes. Then Taj Mahal, Humayun's tomb, Qutub Minar, Red Fort, Agra Fort, Fatehpur Sikri in Agra, Konark Sun Temple, etc. These are the famous cultural world heritage sites. Means the man-made things or buildings or ancient monuments built by man. Okay. Now the natural sites or gifts from nature, gifts of nature, they are the natural at World Heritage Sites are Kaziranga Wildlife Sanctuary. Wildlife Sanctuary where we protect wildlife, animals and birds are protected. That is Kaziranga Wildlife Sanctuary, Manas Wildlife Sanctuary, Keoladeo National Park, Sundarbans National Park, Nanda Devi and Valley of Flowers National Parks, Western Ghats, Great Himalayan National Park. These are all natural sites or natural world heritage sites or gifts of nature we say. Okay. Yes, so these are the examples of cultural as well as natural world heritage sites. So as we know, there are two types of sites or world heritage sites, cultural and natural. Okay, so cultural are man-made things or the ancient buildings or structures or monuments built by man during different phase of human civilization, and natural sites are gifts of nature. So examples also we have seen. So we are going to learn about each one by one. Okay children? Yes. Now architecture and importance. So let us learn about the architecture of these buildings and its importance, the design, the structure, okay, about these famous buildings or monuments. So architecture and its importance. First one is Agra Fort. We learned first about Agra Fort, its architecture and its importance. Okay, so you can see the image of Agra Fort. We can see the image of Agra Fort. Okay, let us know about architecture of some cultural world heritage sites. So it is one of the cultural world heritage site. Agra Fort is a cultural world heritage site. Now we are going to learn about its design, structure and all, when it was built, who built that, what is its importance. Okay, the Agra Fort is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is recognized by UNESCO and is located in Agra. It's Agra Fort, so it is in Agra, Uttar Pradesh, India. The fort can be more accurately, means exactly described as a walled city. If we tell about Agra Fort, we can say it is a walled city, walled, full of wall it is. Okay, you can, in the image you can see. Yes, it represents the first major building project of Akbar. So it is, who built that? The Emperor Akbar. Okay, it represents the first major building project, important building project of the King Akbar. It is built on the site of earlier castle. Castle means what? A large building, a palace kind of. Okay, so it is built on the site of the an earlier castle. Earlier there was a big building over there. It is built on that site itself in AD 1565 to 1575. Centuries back. This fort, apart from other important units, contains Jahangiri Mahal, Khas Mahal, Diwani Khas, Diwani Machichi Bhavan and Moti Masjid. So here, apart from this fort, we can see these all things here. Apart from this other important units, this Agra fort contains these all buildings along with this. Okay, so that is the importance of this structure of Agra. It is Agra fort. It is in Agra, in state, which state? Uttar Pradesh, in our country India. It is recognized by UNESCO. It's one of the cultural world heritage site, and it is one of the major project of the King Akbar. Then it is built on the site of an earlier castle. Earlier there was a large building over there, so it is built there itself, in Agra. So apart from this not only this fort, we can, in Agra fort we can see these other buildings also. Okay, yes, so that's about Agra fort. So Ajanta caves, children, Ajanta caves are one of the most popular Buddhist monument in India. Buddhist monument or Buddhist building, famous Buddhist building in India is Ajanta caves. They are located just outside the village of Ajanta. Ajanta is a village, so it is located outside the village. In which district? In Aurangabad district of the state of Maharashtra. So in Maharashtra state, district Aurangabad, there is a village called Ajanta. Outside that village, these caves are located. The world famous Ajanta caves, including the unfinished ones, are 13 number. See, the world famous Ajanta caves, including unfinished ones. There are still some unfinished caves are 30 in number. Out of them, 5 are Chaitya Grihas and the rest are Viharas. Means there are two types of architecture related to these caves. There are two types of architecture or design or building related to Ajanta caves. They are Chaitya Grihas and Viharas. Chaitya Grihas. Chaitya Grihas. So two types of architecture are there related to Ajanta caves. One is Chaitya Grihas and the other is Viharas. We say Viharas. So Viharas means monasteries. Monasteries is the place where Buddhists used to worship. Okay, place of worship of Buddhism. That is monasteries. This Chaitya Grihas. Chaitya Griha is the place where Buddhists used to worship, and Viharas. Viharas means monasteries, or we say the dwelling place of monks, or this monks or the saints or Buddhists used to stay. The place of residence, we say. Okay, so there are two types of architecture related to Ajanta caves. They are Chaitya Grihas and Viharas. So here already we have seen, see the world famous Ajanta caves, including the unfinished ones. There are unfinished caves still are there, including that there are 30 number. Among this, 5 are Chaitya Grihas and the rest are Viharas. So these Chaitya Grihas and Viharas are types of architecture related to Ajanta caves. Yes, Chaitya Grihas are the places of worship, and this Viharas means the place of residence of Buddhist monks. After centuries of oblivion, oblivion means after centuries, when actually people they forgot about these structures or these buildings or these caves, you know. So after centuries, after many centuries, they came to know about this. So these caves were discovered, we say. Still those centuries, no one bothered about that, or everyone forgot about that. No one knows this is their, like, So after centuries of oblivion, means after that, when they forget and when that emptiness, we say, they came to know about this, means it discovered accidentally, or we say suddenly they got discovered these caves in AD 1819. Still that time they were not known about these caves. They fall into two distinct phases with a break of nearly 4 centuries between them. A few paintings which survive on the walls of caves 9 and 10 date back to 2nd century BC AD. Means these caves were built in two phases. First starting around the 2nd century, and second group of paintings starting during 5th century. So these caves, Ajanta caves, were built in two phases. In two different phases they built. First they built in 2nd century, afterwards in 5th century. So after many centuries they discovered about these caves, and when a few paintings, they survive on the walls of cave 9 and 10, actually back to 2nd century, means after discovering this, caves were again built in two different phases. Then they continued for the next 2 centuries as noticeable in later caves. Then they continue to for next 2 centuries again they started doing this building, and they also center around Buddha, Bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas means a saint actually. Mahayana Buddhism, we say. They work for the welfare of others or benefit for the others. They are saints actually. In Buddhist itself there are some saint, Mahayana Buddhism, we say. So incidents from the life of Buddha and Jatakas. Jatakas are the various stories of these Buddhist people. So these structures, or in the caves, whatever they were structures you can see, actually it is centered, means about Buddha and this Mahayana Buddhism, and also the incidents, whatever things happened in the life of Buddhist and the stories of them. These all they have carved and shaped, and they have built into the structure in Ajanta caves. You can see the picture, the sculpture, the statues over there, isn't it? Yes. So they all shows the different stories about Buddhism, about Buddhist, their life, the incidents, etc. They have been carved out there in Ajanta caves. So it is one of the most popular Buddhist monuments in India, that is Ajanta caves. They are located in which village? Yes, outside the Ajanta. Ajanta is a village, and which district? Aurangabad, and the state is Maharashtra. Okay, yes. So actually after centuries, many centuries, they got discovered, these caves got discovered, and they were built in two phases actually, 2nd century and 5th century. Afterwards they continued to the work for the next centuries, and actually the work you can see there on the caves, the live incidents of the Buddhist monks. Okay, and two main structure or architecture related to these caves are Chaityagrihas and Viharas. Chaityagrihas means the place of worship of Buddhist people. Viharas or monasteries means the dwelling place or the place of residence, we say, of Buddhists. So these two type of architectures are designs or structure. These are the designs that related to this Ajanta caves. These designs we can see in Ajanta caves, and mainly it's centered about Buddha, Mahayana Buddhism, or we say the life, the incidents, the stories of Buddhist people. They have been built in this Ajanta caves. So that's about Ajanta caves. So we learned about Agra Fort, and the second one, cultural world heritage, we learned is about Ajanta caves. Then one more cave is there, that is Ellora caves. Let us see what is this Ellora caves. Okay. So next is Ellora Caves. Okay, Ellora Caves, another cave or another important cultural World Heritage Site. Okay, one of the most magnificent rock temple complexes in the world. Rock temple, or we say magnificent means the bigger one, the larger rock temple, we say rock temple or rock building. Temple building is Ellora Caves. Ellora Caves are a group of temples. It's not a single temple. It's a group of temples that were built between 5th and the 10th centuries AD. Centuries back it has been built. That too, it's a group of temples. It's a big rock temple. They were excavated during the period from 5th to 13th century AD. So when they were discovered during 13th century, excavated means while making a hole, digging a hole, we came to know about this Ellora Caves. That time by digging the hole, they were excavated during those period. These caves represent one of the largest rock-hewn monastic temple complexes in the world. Yes, one of the magnificent, the biggest rock temple, we say. Rock hewn. Hewn means H-E-W-N, hewn. It is, carving out from something like cutting and carving, we say, out of wood or out of some hard material like rock. Monastic means monks temple. Complexes, building, the great building in the world. Ellora Caves are locally known as Viruleni. Locally we say Viruleni. Okay. The Great Kailasa or Cave 16 is called the Great Kailasa at Ellora boasts of being the largest single monolithic excavation in the world. So the Great Kailasa is the largest single monolithic means monolithic, it's a big stone. So this Great Kailasa has been built in one stone. It's a huge structure. It is the greatest or largest single monolithic excavation in the world. So after digging hole, when we find out these caves there, they got this Great Kailasa. It is built on one stone. That's why it is called the largest single monolithic Buddhist statue or excavation in the world. Ellora Caves have been hewn out of the volcanic basaltic formation of Maharashtra known as Deccan Trap. So when volcano eruption happened, volcano eruption that already you learned, isn't it? Like hot materials thrown out from the earth's interior surface, from inside interior part of the earth, a hollow space, through that molten lava or hot materials, ashes comes out. It is volcanic eruption. So this Ellora Caves have been carved out from this volcanic basaltic formation in Maharashtra known as Deccan Trap. It is that volcanic basaltic formation is known as Deccan Trap. During that time this have been hewn out or carved out. The Great Kailasa is a freestanding, multi-storied temple complex. Great Kailasa, as I told, is the largest single monolithic excavation in the world. Actually, it is a freestanding, multi-storied, means it has different levels, okay, of temple. It's not a single building. It's a building is not only 2-storied or 3-storied, multi it is, okay. Built to resemble Mount Kailasa, the abode of Lord Shiva. So people believe that Mount Kailasa, it is the home of Lord Shiva or abode of Lord Shiva. It resembles that. Resemble means it has a similar appearance. This Great Kailasa has similar appearance of Mount Kailasa. In that way it has been built. Okay, it is not a single or freestanding single structure. It's a great building with different levels of that buildings. It is there, or single monolithic. It's built on one stone with multi-story temple complex. A temple is a huge temple building, we say, that is Great Kailasa. It looks like Mount Kailasa, the home of Lord Shiva. So that's about Ellora Caves. It is one of the greatest rock building, we say. It has been excavated during the period from 5th to 13th century. And Great Kailasa is the largest single monolithic excavation in the world. Excavation in the sense digging a hole and carving it out. That is called excavation. So Ellora Caves have been found through the volcanic basaltic formation in Maharashtra, that's called Deccan Trap, and it is a Great Kailasa is the single monolithic largest temple building which resemble Mount Kailasa, that is the abode of Lord Shiva. Abode means the home. So it resembles or it has a similar appearance of Mount Kailasa. And Dashavadara Cave or Cave 15 at Ellora depicts the 10 avatars of Lord Vishnu. Okay, Cave 15 is called the Dashavadara Cave. It shows the 10 avatars of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu has 10 avatars. So Dashavadara Cave, it represents this 10 avatars of Lord Vishnu. It is cave number 15, cave 15, and cave 16 is Great Kailasa, which resembles Mount Kailasa. Okay, children.